Yeah, guys, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to see the examples for the local variable, static variable, and instance variable, right? So this is the representation of a local variable, instance variable, and a static variable. As we know, you can create a static variable inside the class, outside the method, outside of constructor, or outside of any block, right? You can declare the static variable by using this static keyword. Coming to the instance variable can be created within the class, outside of the method, that can be called as a instance variable. Now, within the method, if you are taking any variable, then that can be called as a local variable. Now, you can ask a question, sir, what is the difference between the static variable and the instance variable? The difference is, let's say if you have a class X, to this X class, in this X class, you have a variable, let us assume age variable. So for this X class, I am creating the different objects. X1 is one object, X2 is another object, X3 is another object. If this age variable is instance variable, I'm taking the scenario one. If the age variable is instance variable, that instance variable separate copy is available to every object. X1, it contains the separate age, let us assume 30. X2, it contains the separate age variable, that is 31. X3, it contains the separate age variable, that is 32. If you are modifying the data of one object, that will not reflect on other objects in case of instance variables. Coming to the static variable. Now I'm taking the example for the static variable. Same X class, you have a variable, the age variable. Now this is a static variable. Let us assume, right? I'm creating three objects to this X class, X1, X2, X3. So for all these three objects, the common variable is available. If you are modifying the data of X1, let us assume 30, right? If you are modifying the data of X1 object, that automatically reflects on X2 and X3. That in the sense, in case of static, the static variable is shared among the different objects of the class. Whereas in case of instance variable, a separate copy of instance variable is available to every object of the class. That is the difference between the static variable and instance variable. Sir, we want an example. Of course, will see a example about this static variable and instance variable. Right. 1 minute. I will show you. Yeah. So here, as we discussed, what I'm doing, I'm taking a class. My class name is person. Here I am taking the integer type of age. I'm not declaring with static keyword, so it's a instance variable. I'm taking the main class, next main method I'm taking. Now I'm creating object to the person class. I'm creating two objects, that is P1 and P2. Now P1 dot age is 30, P2 dot age is 31. I'm printing P1 dot age and P2 dot age. Let's execute and see the output of this program. Now, always whenever you are compiling and running your program, save your class name and file name must be same, right? And go to that particular directory wherever the program you are saved. So I saved in the where I saved in here I saved it, right? Now I want to compile this. So what I'm doing, I'm using the Java compiler space your class name dot Java. Right. Now it's compiled successfully. That class file is going to be generated with the bytecode. We will discuss what is this bytecode and all. Then Java space. I'm running the code. Now P1 age is 30, P2 age is 31. If you see here, as I told you, these two instance variables, they are having the separate copy of these instance variables. P1 object, separate copy, P2 object, separate copy of age variable. Now we'll make it as static. right? I'm declaring this as a static variable. Now I'm saving this Control S, right? And static variables can be accessed directly by using the class name. So this is the point what we learned, right? I'm directly accessing by using the class name. Now compile this. Already we saved it. Just recompile and run it. Compile successfully. I'm running this. Now you can see P1's age is 31, P2's age is also 31. That in the sense, the data of static variable is shared among the different objects. That is the difference between the static variable and the instance variable. Now, sir, this is all about the variables. Let's come back to our story. Sir, what is this scope of a variable and lifetime of a variable? Right? Now we understand this scope and lifetime of a variable. So scope of a variable that refers to the area or the section of the program in which the variable can be accessed, right? Wherever we are declared that particular variable, the section of the program in which the variable can be accessed, that defines the scope. And the lifetime means how long the variable stays alive in the memory. That indicates the lifetime of that particular variable. Now, sir, let's analyze the different variables with their scope and lifetime. So what is the instance variable scope? That is the throughout the class except in static methods. Coming to the static variable or class variable, that is throughout the class. Coming to local variable, that is within the block only, wherever it is declared. And coming to the lifetime of instance variable, until the object is available in the memory. So that is the lifetime of the instance variable. Coming to the static variable or class variable, until end of the program. Coming to the local variable, until the controller leaves the block. Once the controller is leaving the block, then the lifetime of the local variable is ended, right? This is all about the scope and lifetime of a variable. So this is all about your variables, types of variables, and the scope and lifetime of the variables along with the example programs. Chalo guys, thank you. Have a great day.